Larry Kruger here for The Krug Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And this video also brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World. Mancini's a proud sponsor. They offer 120-night guarantee with a range of brands and price points. I'm loving my Mancini's bed. With Mancini's, you get free next day delivery. All you got to do is click the link below or go to sleepworld.com. Find a bed that works for you. Whether you shop online or visit in store, use the code KRUG10 and you'll get 10% off. That's KRUEG 10, and you'll get 10% off in store or online at sleepworld.com. All right. I was just taping a video reacting to the fact that CMC and JP Mason are on IR and that the 49ers badly need to add another running back. And I was in the process of going through every team's practice squad looking for the best running backs. And I found 6 that I really, really liked. In the midst of the video, Tom Pelissero reports that the 49ers signed a running back. And it was a running back that I didn't see on anybody's practice squad list, and because I'm not sure exactly what his situation was as far as IR and practice squad and the active roster, but he wasn't listed as on the Jets practice squad. But the Niners have signed Izzy Abanikanda to a contract, and he's better than the 6 practice squad players that I was saying or advocating the 49ers to take a look at. I'm a big fan of Abanikanda. If you're a follower of my channel, you knew that I did a video on him coming out of Pittsburgh, and I loved him. I mean, seriously, he's big and fast and can catch, and he's athletic. He is a tremendous get. And only because the Jets had Breece Hall and great depth at running back did they even have this guy, exposed to practice squad or waivers, and now the Niners grab him. He's a good-sized running back. He's got great athleticism, very, very athletic. He had an ACL injury at the end of the preseason last year, but he's healthy now, and he's back running. And, man, this is a really, really solid running back, and I think a great addition. So remember the name, Izzy Abanikanda. It's a great name, Izzy Abanikanda. I can't wait for Greg Papa to touchdown San Francisco, Izzy Abanikanda. It's a great name. All right, guys, so here is my live reaction to seeing the 49ers sign Izzy Abanikanda. And you know what? Scratch all these names. There were other names on this list as well. Ty Davis-Price, Dylan Johnson, Jamar Jefferson, you name it. But the 49ers have actually just signed a player that is even better than all these guys that I named. And that is Izzy Abanikanda. And anybody who follows me knows that I am a huge, huge fan of Izzy Abanikanda. At SF Niners on YouTube is reporting that Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network reported that the Niners have claimed running back Israel Abanikanda off waivers from the Jets. This is a great pickup. Izzy Abanikanda is got tackle breaking ability. He's got explosive speed. I loved him at Pitt. I was a huge fan of his in the draft. I'll say it right now. Izzy Abanikanda is better than Gore or Watson or Cabote or Dante Miller, Jabari Small, Velus Jones. He is better than those guys. Why? He's bigger, stronger, can break tackles. He's got a little bit more experience than these guys. He's got the same breakaway speed that you're looking for. This is not just a good pickup. This is a great pickup. 49ers, the one thing about Bobby T has been with Kyle Shanahan for years. Before he was with Kyle Shanahan, he was with Mike Shanahan. Bobby T has got an unbelievable eye for personnel at his position. He's got a great eye for running backs. You think of all those no-name backs in Denver for Mike Shanahan, Olandis Gary, Mike Anderson, Clinton Portis. They just had so many different backs there, not to mention Terrell Davis, who was a 6th-round pick, and others. who ran the rock and looked really good in Denver. And then look what Mike Shanahan with Bobby T has done here. Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, CMC, Elijah Mitchell, JP Mason, Isaac Correndo. I mean, they got a pretty good eye for running back talent, and they generally have some good running backs. So to get a player the caliber of Izzy Abanikanda off waivers is an absolute find. Niner fans are going to love this guy. He can catch, he can run, he's explosive, he's strong, he can push the pile. I'm shocked that this guy was available. Now, the Jets have Breece Hall. The Jets have a young star back, and they've got good depth behind him. So, and Izzy did have an injury that first year, and if you remember him, his family followed him from place to place throughout the preseason when the Jets were on Hard Knocks, and his family, was traveling around to every game, and you can tell it's a tight-knit family. He's a good kid. He suffered, I believe, an ACL injury last year in the preseason. But, man, this is a good addition for the 49ers. This is a back who I think is more than a backup. I think this is a starting caliber running back. This guy's better than the guys the Niners have had on the practice squad. He's a more natural runner than Isaac Correndo right now. I mean, I can, if the Niners play Sunday, and they do, and it comes down to who do you want to hand it to, Izzy Abanikanda or Isaac Correndo, I'm handing it to Izzy all day and all night. I mean, he's got instincts, he's got vision, he's got pick and slide. He's a great athlete, but he also has true running back feel, where Correndo's got unbelievable size and speed, but his feel and his ball handling are not great. So he's not as trustworthy, and he fumbles. He runs up on the back of his offensive lineman. He doesn't read the hole. He doesn't know when to hit the hole, when to press it, when to cut back. His feel is just all wrong. He's unbelievably fast, and that's why you got to utilize him. And you got to get him out there probably as a receiver, or you got to get him on the field at least 10, 12 plays a game. And you got to give him some touches because he's a game breaker. But he doesn't have any feel. He doesn't have a feel as a running back, and it's a big field position. So I love the addition of Izzy Abanikanda. And I think you guys, once you see him in a 49er uniform, there's going to be a lot of people going, what? How did they find this player, in week 14? It's baffling that the Niners could find this good of a back. But credit them. They got a great eye for it. Bobby T's got a great eye for it. Shanahan's got a great eye for running backs. And Izzy Abanikanda is a legitimate, quality NFL back. Just wait and see. So there you go. There was my reaction live to Izzy Abanikanda coming to the 49ers. But let's watch the rest of this video. And here are the other 6 practice squad backs that I would have interest in, and you can listen to the breakdown right here. All right, Niners looking for a running back. McCaffrey, done for the year. JP Mason, headed to IR, likely done for the year. Who's left? They have Isaac Correndo, and they have Patrick Taylor on the practice squad, and they're probably going to pick somebody else up for their active roster. And we'll see. I mean, it might be somebody that they just go to put on the practice squad if they want to promote Patrick Taylor. Or this might be a good opportunity for them to poach a running back from somebody else's practice squad. And there are some good ones out there. And I went and did a whole deep dive on every team's practice squad players. And I've come up with a list of some guys that I think, this would be the best of the best. This is like the half dozen best backs out there as far as I'm concerned. And in my opinion, these backs are better than Matt Breida or Boston Scott or Keyshawn Vaughn or touchdown Lenny Fournette. These guys are better. Why? Because those guys have a past. These guys all have a future. And they're different kinds of backs. So let's just go through them. All right, the first one is going to be the move that is most popular with the Niner fans. And it might be the best move that they can make, and that is to just go sign Frank Gore's kid. Frank Gore Jr. is on Buffalo's practice squad. He looks an awful lot like his dad. He really does. He's kind of a poor man's version of Frank, but there's a lot to like there. He was a good player at Southern Miss. He had a big touchdown run in the Shrine game. He's compact. He's a quick cutting inside back. In a lot of ways, he's Frank Gore all over again. He's not quite as explosive as Frank, but he's probably a whole lot healthier than Frank was at this point coming out of Miami. Frank had torn both the ACLs and right and left legs coming into the NFL. So his son has not had those kinds of injuries, and he looks an awful lot like his dad. And it would be very, very popular with Niner fans. They would love to see Frank Gore Jr. on this team. So that's an interesting name. He's out there. Let's go down the list. Another guy that I really like a lot is Blake Watson. Super quick, can really catch the ball, very elusive, kind of a big play guy. This is a hard guy to corral. This is a difficult player to tackle. He's not that big. He doesn't have the greatest long speed, but he's got unbelievable quickness. He can catch the ball. He's a smart player. He's on the practice squad right now, and I think he could help right away. Another name that is a guy that I really like is Jacob Kibodi, who I believe started at A&M and then transferred, left A&M and went to Louisiana, finished up at Louisiana. Great athlete, 225 pounds, but he can run. He runs a little upright, so he takes some hits. But Jacob Kibodi is a good running back, and as I said, he's closer to 230 pounds. He's got good contact balance. He can run through arm tackles, very strong, very powerful. He's got a little bit more quickness than you think. Guys might sometimes take bad angles on Kibodi because they think at his size that he's going to be one speed, and he's a little bit quicker than that. He's an interesting guy. He really is. And he can break tackles. So there's another name. That's Jacob Kibodi. Maybe the most exciting name on this list is this next guy, Dante Miller, who played at South Carolina, transferred to Columbia, or maybe he started at Columbia, transferred to South Carolina, but explosive speed. I mean, this guy was clocked sub 4.3. We're talking about a 4.2 burner. I think his official 40 time at his pro day was like 4.35. The New York Giants signed him because of a technicality before the draft. So he was a free agent last spring before the draft, and they put him on their practice squad. He's small, but man, if you look at him, he reminds you a ton of Tyreek Hill. He's just a blur. He's so fast. I mean, he's 205 pounds or something like that, 195. He's not big, but he has got great speed. I mean, legit 4.3 speed, maybe even sub 4.3. They clocked him at faster than sub 4.3. Very, very explosive. Now, durability, I don't know. He's a smaller back. I don't know how many hits he could really take. But if you're just looking for somebody who's an explosive weapon, who may be able to create some speed and scare defensive coordinators in the pass game, Dante Miller might be your guy. These last two names are probably my favorite on the list. I like Jabari Small. You know, a lot of people didn't watch a lot of Jabari Small. He played with another back at Tennessee that went to the Bears, I believe. But Small is a tough little back. He's 5'9", about 195 to 200 pounds, so he's not a big back, but he's tough. This guy's tough. He's got a lot of energy in his body. I think he's on Tennessee's practice squad right now. Tennessee runs the ball well. They've got a pretty good eye for running backs. Jabari Small. Now, I don't know if he'd want to leave Tennessee because he, as I said, he played at University of Tennessee, and now he's on the Titans practice squad. But the difference between the active roster salary and the practice squad salary is about $500,000. So something tells me if the Niners want him on the active roster, he'll leave Tennessee. But he's a good little back. He's tough. He's got great contact balance. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Really good second, third effort kind of guy. Jabari Small. He's small, but he doesn't play small. And then maybe the name that's probably the best known on this list is Velus Jones Jr., who played at USC. He transferred. I believe he played at Tennessee and USC. Super versatile. Now, he's had some fumbling issues, but man, this guy can run. He can catch. He can be a return man. He's got pretty good size, really good speed. I mean, if you want to throw this guy screen passes, he's a really tough guy to rally up and tackle. So Velus Jones Jr., is he a running back? Is he a receiver? Is he a return man? He's kind of a playmaker. But he's either a running back that can really catch the ball, which would be great in this system, or he's a receiver who has a little bit more tackle breaking ability than your typical receiver, which would also be a great fit in this scheme. Or he's a dynamic return man solely. And if that's the case, you have other guys, but you know what? Velus Jones has got some ability. I mean, you throw him the ball, he can catch it. I kind of like him as a downfield running back, a guy who can make some catches as a receiver downfield from the running back position. So 6 good ones there. Velus Jones, very versatile, can play wide receiver, return man, or running back. Jabari Small, tough little back who breaks tackles and will fight for every yard. Dante Miller, super explosive scat back. Think kind of a Darren Sproles, not quite as thick as Sproles, but even faster. I mean, this guy's one of the fastest guys on the field. He stands out. He's like a Tyreek Hill. Then there's Jacob Kibodi, who's a bigger back. If the Niners are looking for somebody more in the 220 to 230 range, Kibodi's athletic at that size. Then there's Blake Watson, who's very quick, can catch the ball, real threat out of the backfield, very difficult guy to corral. And then there's Frank Gore Jr., Frank's kid, who's kind of a chip off the old block. And he was good at Southern Miss, and I think that would be a very popular move with 49er fans if you added Frank Gore Jr. All right, there is the rundown of the backs who are available either via free agency or the practice squad. There's some other guys, too, that didn't quite make the list. I like Deneric Prince from Miami quite a bit. I like Kevin Harris from New England quite a bit. The Raiders have Sincere McCormick, who, Spencer Burford blocked for Sincere McCormick, and that is a great name.